Hi, thanks for visiting Phil Sharp Homes. I'm Phil, and this video is about getting pre-qualified for a mortgage. I try to state the obvious up front in these videos, and the obvious in this situation is if you haven't gotten pre-qualified for a mortgage, you don't really know if you can buy a home, and you certainly don't know how much you're going to be able to spend. Granted, you may have good credit, you may have good income, you may have qualified and owned a home in the past. But with the current economic situation, all of the changes to mortgage lending laws and rules, and changes to loan programs such as VA loan programs, what you experienced in the past is probably not going to hold water nowadays. It really behooves you to get pre-qualified, and if you're working with a good lender, that lender should counsel you on things you can do to make your position even better. So you may pre-qualify just fine, but if you start the process early enough, get some counseling from your lender on how to make things just a little bit better, it might save you a quarter of a point in interest, it might save you a little bit on origination fee. You just never know. And the way mortgage qualification works, there are so many factors that go into it that you may not realize that everyone's situation changes on a month-to-month basis. Your age, your marital status, whether or not you have children, all of those things go into determining your mortgage pre-qualification status, or your qualification status, your interest rate, so on and so forth. And it's all derived from what the lender perceives the risk to be. Someone with a new child is probably going to be more cautious and less risky. Someone who has 15 years in the Army and is on their way to retirement is probably going to be less of a risk than somebody with 3 or 4 years in the Army. And it goes both ways. So kind of stating the obvious there, but there are a lot of reasons to be proactive, get pre-qualified early, or at least start the process early, so that the lender can counsel you and prepare you to obtain the best deal possible. Second thing with pre-qualification, sellers won't even consider an offer without a pre-qualification letter attached from a lender that says they will lend you the money to purchase the home. When I represent sellers, I would not even consider recommending to a seller that they accept an offer that didn't come with a pre-qualification letter. And I'm also going to counsel them on where that pre-qualification letter came from. If it's a lender that I've dealt with in the past who does a good job, I'm going to tell them that. If it's a lender who I've dealt with in the past who takes forever to close, who's such a big bureaucracy that you never get the same person on the phone twice, I'm going to tell the seller that as well. And that's going to color their decision on whether or not to sell you the home. A couple of the big national lenders, lender that most military people are familiar with, won't close a transaction in less than 45 days, and usually it takes them closer to 60. I'm not going to name names. Everybody watching this video probably knows who I'm talking about. They're one of my preferred lenders, but their mortgage business has gone downhill, and they are taking 45 to 60 days to close, whereas the other preferred lender I have, who's here in Olympia and is very, very well known throughout the real estate community, closes VA deals in 3 weeks consistently. Everybody knows that, and when someone receives an offer with a pre-qualification letter from that lender, they automatically mark it up a couple notches because of the lender. So another reason to get pre-qualified is the message that you send to a seller when you are pre-qualified with a known, recognized lender. The third thing is the time factor. If you wait to get you know you have good credit, you know you have good income, you wait until you get here house hunting to get pre-qualified, and whoops, you left something in your household goods that the lender needs, or there's an error in your credit report, not your fault, but it may take weeks, it may take 30 days to get fixed. And fixing things on credit reports is another thing. It's gotten easier than it used to be years ago. We can oftentimes get online or get somebody on the phone with the credit bureau and get things sorted out, but it still takes time. And that's time that you're sitting in a hotel waiting to get pre-qualified so that you can go out and make an offer on a house. So just another reason that pre-qualification and starting the process early is always a good idea. I have experienced this myself. I have a son who happens to share my name. His name is Phil II. Years ago, when he turned 18, 19 years old and started getting credit on his own and stuff, he had the same name as me and the same address. The only difference was our socials. And everything he did started showing up on my credit report. He didn't do anything bad, but all of a sudden I had all of his debt showing up on my credit, which impacted my ability to obtain more credit until I got it fixed. And it took me 45, 60 days probably to convince the credit bureaus that we were two separate people. So I'm going to quit running on about that, but doing it early is better than doing it late. The material presented in this video is available for download. Probably a lot more information on the download than what I've covered here. So go to the download center and download it. While you're on the website at Phil Sharp Homes, make sure you request a relocation packet by U.S. mail. We put a lot of good information in them, both from the local communities and from the installation. Thanks again for visiting. My name is Phil Sharp, and this concludes this video.